Today, I'm going to share 10 English study tips to help you learn English 10 times faster. Welcome back to JForrest English. Of course, I'm Jennifer. Now let's get started. Number 1, create a study schedule. This is extremely important. Your study schedule should identify the specific day or ideally the specific days of the week that you're going to study. And it should also identify the start time and the end time of that session. So for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 6 o'clock to 6:30. And then maybe Saturday and Sunday from 9 o'clock to 9:45. Ideally, your goal should be 5 days a week for 30 minutes each day. As a pro tip, I want you to choose the day and time extremely carefully. Make sure the time you put in your calendar is realistic and you can actually spend the time on your studies. And when it's in your calendar, treat it like an appointment. You wouldn't miss an appointment, so don't miss this time, your study time. Tip 2, set a clear goal for each study session. The worst thing you can do is sit down at your scheduled time and then say to yourself, what should I study? Or just randomly watch YouTube videos or randomly look through an English textbook. That's going to waste a lot of time. Before you begin your study session, you should know exactly what you're going to do with that time. For example, before you sit down, you know that you're going to complete the practice exercises for week 2 of your lesson in the Finally Fluent Academy, which is my premium training program. And my students get a study schedule that I've created for them when they join. So as a pro tip, make sure you take 5 minutes before your scheduled study time, or ideally the day before. Just take a few minutes and plan exactly what you're going to do in that scheduled time. Tip number 3, you want to maximize your study time. 30 minutes is not created equally. Some people will have 30 minutes and they will accomplish nothing with that time. Another person will have 30 minutes and accomplish a lot. So how you use that time matters. You can maximize your 30 minutes by, first of all, removing all distractions. You need to turn off all social media when you're focusing on your study time. You need to turn off all notifications. Lock your pets in another room so they don't come and distract you and take your attention away. Have your water, your tea, whatever supplies you need for that session already in the room so you don't have to leave and get a glass of water, which will take time away from studying. And also make sure you set a timer. So if your study session is for 30 minutes, set a timer, because even just wondering what time it is, how much time has passed, takes your attention away and you're losing time. Now, as a pro tip, make sure you leave your phone in an entirely different room, assuming you're not using your phone to study. That will definitely eliminate the distraction and that temptation to pick up your phone during your scheduled study time, which will, of course, waste a lot of time. Tip number 4, improve multiple skills at once. A lot of students study using word lists and they have an individual word and a definition. But that is only improving one skill. If you follow my YouTube channel, you know I love sharing videos where we learn English with the news, because you're learning so many different skills at once. You're improving your reading, your listening, your vocabulary, your grammar, your pronunciation, your speaking. You're doing all of that at once, so you're maximizing your time by focusing on multiple skills. Tip number 5, learn words in context. So again, you use a vocabulary list and you learn an expression off track, and you see the definition for that expression. Off track, not making progress. But when you learn a word in context, it means you have a full sentence that's a natural sentence, the way a native speaker would use that expression. For example, yesterday our meeting went off track when John brought up the consultant's report. So here you see the word being used in context, you understand the meaning a lot more, and you also understand the grammar. You understand that you need to go off track, and then you see, okay, yesterday I need the past simple, went off track, and you learn a lot more when you see grammar or vocabulary in context. Tip number 6, repetition, repetition, repetition. It's so important, I repeated it 3 times. According to scientists, we forget about 50% of new information in 1 hour, which means 1 hour from now, you'll forget half of these tips. And scientists say that we forget 70% of new information within 24 hours. So you won't remember very much from this lesson tomorrow, unless you repeat, repeat, repeat. Our brains were designed to remember information only if it's repeated, because that tells our brain the information is important. So if you want to remember what you're learning, you need to repeat, repeat, repeat. And as a pro tip, it's more beneficial to have a quick review multiple times a day rather than once a week and having a longer review, because we need that constant repetition. Tip 7, you need to recall information, which means your brain provides that information without seeing it. So we do this when we quiz ourselves or when we complete practice exercises. You're recalling that information. So let's try that right now. We didn't make a lot of progress at the meeting. The meeting, how would you complete that sentence based on the expression I taught you just a few minutes ago? The meeting went off track. The meeting went off track. So right there, you just recalled that definition, which will make it a lot more likely you'll remember it the next time. And as a pro tip, you can complete just the quizzes in my lessons frequently to help you recall information. Tip number 8 is quality over quantity. According to scientists, we can remember about 5 to 9 new words per day. That's about the maximum capacity that our brain has. So it's not very beneficial to review a word list of 300 positive adjectives because you're not going to remember very many of them. It's more beneficial just to learn the top 8 or 9 adjectives that you can use in a meeting to sound professional at work. As a pro tip, you can take my videos, which teaches you many words, more than 5 to 9 in each lesson, but you can divide that lesson into smaller pieces and just focus on a few words, 5 to 9 ideally, learn them, practice them, repeat them, recall them, and then move on with the lesson. Tip number 9, practice different skills. Students are obsessed with practicing their speaking skills. Of course, speaking is important, but there are many other skills you need to improve as well. So practice writing, write example sentences. Of course, practice speaking, say it out loud. You can focus on your pronunciation by recording yourself and then comparing the pronunciation. And you can improve your listening skills by hearing your new vocabulary in a natural context. So do all these different exercises to improve different language skills. And as a pro tip, make sure you add these different areas to your study schedule. So you remember, one day practice speaking, another day practice writing, another day practice pronunciation. And finally, tip number 10, my personal favorite, which is to reward yourself. When you reward yourself, it creates positive reinforcement, which means you feel positive. And if you feel positive, you're more likely to do the action. So you're more likely to spend 30 minutes and really concentrate on that time if you reward yourself. Now, the reward should just be something small, very small, but it needs to immediately make you feel good. So here are some ways I reward myself after spending a focused time. I listen to a song I really like, I sing and I dance, I spend time with my pets, I check the YouTube comments and I reply to them because I love doing that. I might watch some cat videos on YouTube for 5 minutes, not an hour, but 5 minutes. You could eat a piece of chocolate or something very small that you like, or you could go for a walk or a bike ride and do something physical. Remember, it can be very small, but it has to make you feel good immediately. And as a pro tip, reward yourself immediately after the behavior because that will create the positive reinforcement. Now, all of these tips work, but they'll only work if you do the work. So put I'm committed, put that in the comments so I know you're ready to do the work. And make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and of course subscribe so you're notified every time I post a new lesson. And you can get this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can click here to download it or look for the link in the description. And to help you save even more time, I have a customized study plan that you can follow. You can do it every single day and it's absolutely free. So watch this video right now to get the study plan.